Producer-wise, did you have, say so on that? And what were you looking for sonically?
Well, I had say so because when I got there, they wanted me to work with DJ Quick. And I had, at the time, I never heard of DJ Quick. I'm like, I got my guy Hype, you know what I'm saying? Who the hell is DJ Quick? I ain't gonna say I wish but I'm just saying.
Right.
He did my song on House Party 3 though. I did work with Quick on that. But they pretty much let me, I brought Hype and Odie. And once I got Hype made his own relationship with them. So I brought my own producer.
Right.
What
do you remember most about those studio sessions?
At the time, me getting comfortable rapping in a microphone, because I was used to freestyling and bullshitting. Mm-hmm. Even when I did Clientele, I did that at Clayton Studios. On Clayton Studios on Clayton Road, ain't it? What is that? What is that over there? Where the Esquire. That's on I think that's Clayton Road. Is that Big Ben? Yeah, Clayton Studios was on Big Ben. And I forgot where I'm at. Where
was you at? What was you talking about?
What was I talking about?
Studio sessions.
Well, okay. I had to get comfortable rapping on a microphone. I was not used to that, even though, like when I did Clientele, I had to sit in a chair. Like I said, I was the background rapper. I wasn't never the up front guy.
Right.
I was the one to help. If you need a DJ, I could be a DJ. You need help writing your lyrics, I do that. Backup rapper. You say 2 verses, I say 1,
Right.
So that was my main thing. I used to be kind of uncomfortable. I'm like, God damn, this was weird with the headphones and different shit,
Right. Did you have a mentor at the time? Like, how was you finding your way as a new artist? Predominantly the only one out of St. Louis. I mean, nobody really had a major record deal. Like, how was you finding your way to create this album?
I didn't really have a mentor. No, I didn't have a mentor. I just had desire to want to put St. Louis on. Like I say, I tired of hearing South Bronx and goddamn Jamaica, Queens and Compton and all that shit. I wanted to be able to say my shit, my city,
Right.
So I didn't really have, that was my motivation for real. I didn't really have a mentor. Trice had passed, the dude that made the album, the Too Hard Productions. Mm-hmm. He was like a mentor, but he had passed. I wish he would have been around back then.
Right. From beginning to end, how long would you say it took you to create that album?
Man, honestly, that album, when they offered me that money, I went and rented a 4-track, and I made that album on a 4-track. Before we just rapping in the mic in the bedroom. And I had already made rough drafts of damn near 80% of the album. Trick with a Good Rap came after that, but I didn't make that in the crib. But the most of it I had already made. And I sent them that, and they'd be like, we want to do this song. So I had pre-made a whole bunch of shit,
Trick with a Good Rap followed Clientele?
Yeah.
Was the next single?
Yeah.
Okay. So when that finally hit the streets, what was the reaction like?
Oh, shit. That was devastating. There. Like when you go to the club, you see people screaming it in their cars and singing it and shit. And I'm like, God damn, I didn't even predict this. You know what I'm saying? That was pretty wild to witness that, Somebody just like Clientele, I hear niggas playing my shit, and I'd be like, okay, that's cool. But then when that came out, man, I could be in a club and they wouldn't know I was there. To hear it come on and how everybody rushed the floor, and I'm thinking, damn, I ain't even like that song. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It was crazy back then. It was very similar to like when Nelly came with the Down Down Baby. It was like when I seen that happen, it was like a repeat. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
How did you link up with AMG for the remix?
Well, AMG, you know, he was signed to Total Track Productions. So me and him had already been hollering, and I'm like, yeah, I think it'd be cool to get a feature. I'm like, I'm friends with these other rappers. I think that'd be cool for me to, you know, so I called him up, and he said, yeah, when you get back to Cali, I got you. Okay, so when we went in there and we laid that thing down, we did that song in one take. That was all on one track, all them vocals.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just at the time where you kind of, meet DJ Quit to, work on a future song at the time?
Well, I was more focused on building my team up. You know, I respected Quick and everything he did. Like I said, I did the House Party 3 soundtrack with him, but I was more so trying to build my own thing up,
Right.
you know, to get my own thing respected. They already had Compton popping.